Oh, so far away, Lucas. How much Avatar: The Last Airbender have you watched?
I mean, whether you're asking me now or like 10-year-old me, 10-year-old me watched quite a bit.
So you've not watched it recently?
No.
Yeah, look forward to everyone telling you on Twitter to go watch it. Anyway, let's talk about it. So far away, Lucas, as you often do, would you like to let the lovely audience at home know what the topic of today's Wikipedia Weekends is?
Yeah, this is something that Karl picked out, and I believe we're talking about Toph.
Yes, Toph Beifong from Avatar: The Last Airbender, one of my favourite characters in the series. Oh god, that was an awful noise. I tried to breathe in and stifle a cough while also swallowing coffee at the same time. And it just sounded like my soul got sucked out of my body. Like Shang Tsung's in the room, motherfuckers. Anyway, yes, I watched all of Avatar: The Last Airbender last week while working. I went, fuck it, let's talk about Toph. For people like Lucas who may not be too familiar with the show, we'll start as we often do at the beginning with the biographical information about one Toph Beifong. So we have here, name, Toph, alternative names, the Blind Bandit and the Runaway. So they're the only two alternate names she's got, but both of them are pretty strong band names. I think you'll agree, Lucas.
They are pretty strong.
Do you recall Toph's introduction at all?
No, I don't, but I've just quickly Googled who Toph was to remind me. And I remember that she was in an episode of Death Battle.
Oh yeah, and it's the one where she wins and the anime character loses, so the dislike bar's super big. So yeah, she fucked up Gara of the Sand, because Gara can go fuck himself. Like, you know what, after what he did to my man Rotley, I'm not even mad. Fuck you, Gara. Anyway, born 87 to 88 AG, and I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm assuming it's just their version of BC and AD.
No, that's after Gara.
After Gara. After fucking hell. Like, the thing is, Gara is only cool from that one fight scene he has with Rotley.
Oh yeah.
He's the only good, like, to me, just Naruto ended after that. Because, like, how are you going to top Bruce Lee teleport kicking a man made out of sand? You can't. Anyway, physical description. Gender, female. Eye colour, green, glazed over. Hair colour, black, white when she's old. And skin colour, light skinned. And then we have, like, personal information. And all it says is just, like, love interests. And it's people from Legend of Korra that I don't know. And then allies, which are just everyone in Avatar. So we have Aang, Katara, Sokka, Appa, Momo, Zuko, Suki. And then you have the Metal Bending Police Force, Iroh, Order of the White Lotus, the Badger Moles, and Team Beifong. So the one that I like in that is the Badger Moles. And do you know why the Badger Moles are friends with her?
No.
Because she learned how to control the earth from some Badger Moles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like the animals were the original benders, which is really funny to say with a British accent. And do you remember when Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie, came out? And they didn't realise that over in the UK, bender is slang for homosexual. So they released all those ads of what kind of a bender are you?
Yeah.
And they didn't know. And then we move on to, as we often do in Wiki Weekends, a quote from the character being discussed, and for Toph Beifong, that is, to her mother and father, I love fighting, I love being an earthbender, and I'm really, really good at it. Too fucking right. Toph Beifong is an earthbending master, one of the most powerful of her time, and the discoverer and inventor of metal bending. Blind since birth, Toph was treated condescendingly because of her visual impairment, particularly by her overprotective parents. Upon discovering badger moles, earth-bending animals who are also blind, she learned how to use earth-bending as an extension of her senses. This gave her the ability to see in every direction via the vibrations that pass through the ground. And that is like so fucking OP.
Yeah.
As you might imagine, because like when she first says that, oh, this is how I see, she's like, oh, I can sense you stood there. I can sense that tree behind you. I can also sense those ants over there. And they zoom out like 500 feet into some ants.
Well, it's like if Daredevil was able to also control Earth itself.
It's so ridiculous. And it says here that having developed her own unique style of earthbending, and this is what I like about Toph, because as I mentioned earlier in the video, all of the bending styles are based on traditional Asian martial arts. And I don't know the specific ones. Presumably, Lucas, when you're like doing the editing for this, you'll research that and put a fact bar below saying which martial art specifically each style of bending is based upon. But because she can't see, she doesn't know how to do martial arts, so she just develops her own style, which is better than everybody else's, because she does it on instinct.
Yeah, I love that. Just her instincts are better than, like, the crafted martial arts they've made. But fuck it. Like, sometimes you just need to feel the rhythm, Karl.
Yeah, feel the rhythm, feel the ride. Come on now, it's bobsled time. So anyway, so having developed her own unique style don't laugh, earthbending, Toph acquired a toughened personality and became famous for winning underground earthbending tournaments under the name The Blind Bandit. And the reason I love that, though, is because they have an earthbending master in that who she beats called the Boulder. And do you want to take a guess at what celebrity voices a large, buff man called the Boulder?
Please tell me it's The Rock.
It's The Rock.
Yeah!
Of course it's the fucking Rock!
Yes,
And midway through the fight that they have, she calls him the Pebble, and it's like, oh man.
Oh no!
Then we move on to personality. It says, after joining Team Avatar, Toph brought a completely new personality to the group. Unlike the nurturing Katara, flighty Aang, or gruff but goofy Sokka, Toph was fiercely independent, sarcastic, direct, stubborn, and confrontational. Yeah, that about sums her up. That's Toph down to a T. And one of the things I fucking love about Toph is that initially when she's introduced, it's like, oh, we all need to make camp for the night. It's like, well, I'm an earthbender, I sleep on the fucking ground. So she just makes a tent out of rocks and doesn't help.
Oh, she doesn't help anyone else?
No, she doesn't help, no. She's like, I just sleep on rocks, who gives a fuck? And just makes a tent out of rocks.
Like, could she not make like a little, mini house for them all out of rocks? And
She could, yeah, very easily, because later in the series you see her just casually make an entire miniature city out of sand with one stomp of her foot.
Oh wow, but she goes, nah, fuck it, I've got a rock tent.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make my rock tent. You
Bye.
can fuck off, you do what you want. I also love as well, a little detail, is that she sees with her feet. So when she sleeps, she doesn't close her eyes because she's blind, she just puts her feet up.
Oh man, that's so cool.
Despite this, she appeared to have the same carefree and adventurous personality as Aang, and was very tomboyish in the way that she acted, and dressed in contrast to the delicate doll her parents saw her as. Toph loved battling and took great pride in her earthbending skills. Yeah, as she should.
Yeah.
Like, when you can, cut, as we're about to do after I finish this sentence, to her punching a palace made of rock so hard it stops, just descending into the earth, maybe you've got a reason to be quite proud of your abilities.
Library sinking!
The fact that people are probably screaming about in the comments right now, not realizing we're reading the fucking Wikipedia article for her, is that originally she was going to be a big, tough man.
I'm glad that she isn't.
And they thought, well, wouldn't it be more interesting if she was a little girl? Because isn't the whole point of bending that you don't need to be physically strong to be able to utilize it? It's all about skill and finesse. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great idea. And I think they recycled the idea of a big, tough man into the Boulder.
Okay.
And one of the things I love about Avatar is that some of the strongest people in it are the ones you don't expect. Like Uncle Iroh, in what might be the greatest glow up ever. Like when he's in prison in the 3rd season and he's pretending to just be defeated and all just sad and downtrodden. And they just see him in his cell, just sat there slumped over. It's oh, he's gone. He's no longer the great warrior he once knew. And then they leave and then he starts doing one-arm pull-ups while eating an apple. It's what a man. Fuck it, yeah, you go, Uncle Iroh. Toph's eagerness to prove that she could be independent led to some initial difficulties with Aang and his friends. Toph insisted that she could carry her own weight and often mistook a simple friendly gesture as an act of pity for her blindness. Her encounter with Iroh, however, taught her that Aang, Katara and Sokka cared for her because they were friends, not because her blindness made them feel obligated to do so. And that's just Uncle Iroh being fucking Uncle Iroh, just delivering the life advice.
Yeah.
Of sometimes you just need to have a cup of tea and relax. Fuck yeah. Oh, you'll like this one, Lucas. One of Toph's most profound traits involved personal hygiene. She was accustomed to lying on the ground and walking everywhere barefoot, leaving her soul soiled, a common habit among earthbenders. She is also seen belching loudly, picking her nose or her toes, spitting and was usually covered in dirt, or as she called it, a healthy coating of earth. Which is a neat little detail that, yeah, you control the earth. Why would you give a shit if it's like on your skin? And it's an idea they kind of explore with Katara when she and Toph are in prison. It's like, how do we escape? Like, because we're in a cell made of wood. And so I was like, I can't do anything with this. Also, we have no water. And Katara just runs in place until she starts sweating. And then uses her abilities to bend her own sweat.
Oh, God, that's so funny.
It is, but at the same time, it's like really, and that's one of the things I love about Avatar. It's like, 'cause you know, Lucas, and fans of the channel know, I love interesting applications of superpowers and abilities.
Yeah.
And Avatar has that in fucking spades. Like, they encounter a lady who teaches Katara, like, oh, so you're a waterbender, actually? Yeah, one of the best. Because, well, did you know that you can do this? And she just rips all the water out of a bunch of flowers. She's like, no, I didn't know I could do it. It's like, you're an idiot then. Everything that is alive has water in it. It's potential, like, fodder for you to do. And she says, oh yeah, and I even mastered the ultimate technique of blood bending, so I can bend the water in your blood.
Oh no.
Yeah. We've got a few more tidbits about Toph's personality. She was well educated in the manners and bearings of high society, but deliberately chose to ignore them.
Good.
And it also says here that she'd not let her blindness hurt her self-confidence. She had high self-esteem with regard to many of her abilities, and was more than determined to show that she would not let her blindness deter her from living freely and fighting like everybody else.
Hell yeah, man. Like, I love that shit.
It's just great as well, because she's blind, everyone underestimates her, and then she just sends a 40-ton pile of rock directly at the dickhole.
And then she fucking invents metal bending.
Yeah, which we can get onto now. So we have powers and abilities. Earthbending. Toph's proclamation of being the most powerful earthbender in the world is supported by her talented displays of earthbending from a young age. Although blind, Toph's training in earthbending under the original earthbenders, the Badger Moles, allowed her to use their unique ability of seismic sense. She used earthbending to feel even the most minute vibrations in the earth, including the march of ants several meters away. Through this heightened seismic sense, Toph could visualize where people were, their relative distance to her, and their physical build. This sense provided her with a distinct advantage when facing other earthbenders in combat because she could predict their attacks and quickly react.
Oh man, so she like feels what other people are doing and goes, oh shit, I can predict your movements.
And because earthbending is very direct, involves a lot of like simple, clean, like efficient strikes that usually involve stamping on the ground, she's basically unbeatable.
Oh man, that's so cool.
And then we have here, Lucas, the thing that you want to talk about, metal bending.
Yeah.
So, Toph discovered the ability to bend metal in the spring of 100 AG, so 100 after Gara. Metal is derived from ore, which is found in the earth. Guru Pathik explained to Aang that metal is just a part of the earth that has been purified and refined. Because of Toph's ability to feel vibrations in earth, she was able to locate the impurities, the small fragments of earth, in metal and manipulate those.
Oh, that's how she does it.
It says that by acquiring these metal bending abilities, Toph had shown herself to be one of the most powerful and ingenious earthbenders in the world and potentially of all time, because she is the only known earthbender to ever bend metal. A feat not even accomplished by the Avatar.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, the whole point of the Avatar is that they master all four elements to the point where they surpass individual masters, and none of them had ever figured out how to bend metal.
The idea that, people see her blindness as a weakness, but she uses it as a strength.
And again, it's that idea of like a unique application of a cool ability, and it's like, oh, well, metal is just purified earth. There's not a lot of earth in there, but the little bit that is in there, a very talented earthbender could manipulate, which she does. And it leads to one of my favourite moments in the entire series. It's like, we need to take over this airship. And then they just show like a couple of guys from the Fire Nation leading the airship. She dives into the door, bends it around herself to create a suit of armour, kicks the shit out of all of them, and then just takes it off and goes, that's how it's done. It's like, the fuck are you supposed to do about that?
Oh, God.
And like, you even have like soccer coach goes, have I ever told you how awesome it is that you invented metal bending? Because that's pretty sick. And Lucas, we could go on all day talking about how cool Avatar is. So we can end on just a little bit of trivia about Toph, if you want to hear some of that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And it says here, so we have there's a lot of them here, but a couple that I've looked through that seem quite interesting are, due to her blindness, Toph had no reading or writing skills, which is understandable. But she did have some math skills, as seen when she was counting money. And the reason she counts money is because she uses her earth-bending skills to hustle people. Like, they find a guy, do you know that dice game? Where they hide, like a dice or a ball underneath a cup. She uses earth-bending to, like, detect where it is. And when the guy tries to cheat her by sliding the ball out from under the cup, she uses earth-bending to knock it back under. And just takes all the money and fucks off.
Amazing.
It's just, it's so fucking good. But yeah, fucking, like, if you've not watched Avatar, I'd recommend it, but I'm not one of those dickheads who's presumably on Lucas's Twitter right now, bugging him to watch it. I'm so sorry, mate, you should have said it.